me laugh.
Hi, everybody. Tim Hughes here. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DLA Ignite. With me today, I've got Jenny Rayner, and we're going to be talking about why in leadership everybody is equal. So, Jenny, thank you so much for joining us today, especially joining us from your hotel room in Newcastle.
Yep.
Jenny, before we get into everything, tell people where they can get hold of you.
Okay, so best place to get hold of me is either on LinkedIn. That's where I normally make a lot of my contacts, and I'll do a lot of posting on there, but also on the website, and that is www.thelucyraynerfoundation.com.
Excellent. So do you want to give us your backstory before we start talking about leadership?
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do it in two parts.
Yep.
I'll do my first life. And my first life was very corporate. I was a sales director in a publishing house that worked within the aviation industry, very male dominated, but I really enjoyed it. Did a lot of traveling. A lot of my clients were quite high profile, and I worked on behalf of the Airport Council International and the Tax Free World Association. And then in May 2012, my middle daughter, Lucy, took her life. And then that life closed and my new chapter began. And me and my husband embarked on a property journey. And part of that property journey was beginning a charity. So Lucy had struggled with her emotions.
Yep.
She had visited her GP, was never referred. And then 2 weeks after she'd actually visited the GP, she ended her life. And so we raised some money and we took that money to the GP and we asked for a counsellor or a psychiatric nurse to be at the surgery. And they said they'd already got one of those.
Okay.
And we were kind of like, well, if you have a counsellor, if you have a psychiatric nurse, why did you not refer my daughter? And they basically said that she didn't present as someone that was depressed.
Okay.
So we asked the question of what does depression look like?
Yep.
And they couldn't give us the answer because obviously depression doesn't have a face.
Yep.
We were a little bit angry. And so we decided that we need to do something about it. Kind of like the thought of another family going through what we have gone through and have their child take their life. A brother, a sister, a mum, a husband. We didn't want another family to go through that. So we started up the charity a year after Lucy's passing. And currently we have 50 counsellors and we don't have a waiting list. We also have support groups for men, for women, for families. And we also run a suicide bereavement service, which is really close to my heart.
And this is within the county of Surrey in the UK?
It is within the county of Surrey, yes. Yes.
Or the state, if people are watching from the US of Surrey, yeah.
Yes. So that's how we really began, out of the need of not wanting another family to go through what we had gone through.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I can't imagine what you've been through.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah. I really cannot, I've had bereavement in my life, but not like that. But, tell us about, so you've talked, so in terms of the Lucy Rayner, you actually got a big plan, haven't you, to move things to a site?
We do. So obviously, that there is a wider need for young people. They are so struggling at the moment, and we can't reach as many people as we would like where we are. So we are looking to build a purpose-built facility that will allow us to expand our services and bring on different other types of services to help young people find the right tools to build their resilience.
And you're also going to template this, aren't you? So if there's anybody watching outside of the county of Surrey who think this is a great idea, then you would be happy to talk to them.
Absolutely. That is the dream. The dream is to build the facility, to do the proof of concept, to show that it works,
Yeah.
And then to have them in different parts of the UK. Yeah.
Right.
Network.
Okay. We could talk about that for 20 minutes, but we're here to talk about leadership.
Yes.
Okay. So you describe your leadership style as unorthodox. What does that mean in practice, and where does that approach come from?
So unorthodox, as in, I feel that in working with other people, in building, I don't know, a service, everybody has to work on their strengths. And as the CEO of the Lucy Rayner Foundation, I know that I cannot do everything.
Yeah.
And so when we meet, all of us have to understand where the charity is going.
Yeah.
And everybody has to take responsibility for their part of that journey and to understand what their objectives are, what their aims are for their little business unit. I'm going to call them little business units, their services, and to make sure that they understand the end goal of what we've all agreed on totally.
Yeah. One of the things that's come across to me is that you're an amazing delegator.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it would be too easy to be so focused on it that you try and do everything, and you can't. So one of the things you say is you don't lead from the top, you lead shoulder to shoulder with your team. How does that change trust, accountability, and performance across the organization?
Okay, when everybody is standing shoulder to shoulder, we can lean on each other. So, for example, if we have a goal to reach in one part of the business unit that's not performing as well, we can all have an input in how that unit can bring itself up and vice versa. So my role as a CEO is to be able to understand every part of those business units, and also for the other members to understand how each of the business units run, so that if one is failing, we can all pitch together to bring it up. And so there's a level playing field for everybody.
One of these things you said to me on the preparation call was that you can do every role in the company.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody that's new, you can show them any role. Plus, if anyone calls in sick, you can go and do that role.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And
I think that's really important as a CEO to understand the needs of that business unit. If I don't know how to run it, if I don't know the role that they're playing, how can I support and know and understand what that unit needs? So yeah, I can do all parts.
You actively encourage your team to bring forward new and creative ideas. How do you balance the freedom to experiment with the need to deliver results?
So at the beginning of every year, we have like what we class as our strategy meeting. Everyone comes together and we talk about what was good last year, what was we successful at, things that were challenges, what does that look like? And then from there, I kind of give them a wish list. If I had all the money in the world, how would I bring more to my business unit? What else could I do? What would I change? What would that look like? And then from there, we will brainstorm ideas. And then I will say to them, what do you think? Do you think you're able to do that? Do you think that will be successful? And if they come with a good business case, I will say, go with it. Go with it. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, it's a learning for the next time. So everything has a value.
Yeah, I always I tend to look at things from a risk perspective. And we try things out. And if I think something's really risky, I always say to the people, and if it doesn't work, we'll laugh about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which kind of seems to work with the people, just go and try it. And if it doesn't come back to me, it didn't work.
Exactly.
We tried it.
But actually, it's about them having an idea and taking ownership.
Yeah.
And I think ownership is what makes it spectacular, because when they pull it off, oh my God,
And you empowering them also to own it and do it themselves.
Yes. And they get the credit for it, not me. They get the credit.
Yeah. You also have a Monday check-in meeting, which always sounds really open and human. Tell us about it, and why was it important for you to create a space where people can raise both work and personal challenges?
Well, I run a mental I run a mental health charity.
Yeah.
And so for my team to perform and to give their best, they have to be on their mettle. We have lots of people with mental health issues coming in. So we have to understand that we need to be in a really good, safe place ourselves to be able to emotionally support other people. So our Monday morning check-in is a place where we come together. We all talk about how our week has been, if there's any challenges that we're facing, what's coming up for the week. We check our diaries. Does anybody need support in something? So it's about exploring and sharing so that everybody feels that they're held and that they're in a safe space to share what's going on for them, because your outside life affects your working life. So it just makes sense for us to bring all of that into play.
Because all of us have elderly parents or children at school or whatever, and we we need to we bring that all to work.
We do. And people say we can compartmental things. You can't, not really, because it will always show up in some particular way. They might come in and not talk. They might come in with a little bit of anger in them. They might come in with being sad. So if we're not talking about what's going on, their performance at work won't happen. They won't be productive at all.
Many leaders say they have an open door, but few truly mean it. What have you learned about psychological safety by making openness a non-negotiable part of your culture?
It absolutely has to be openness. I can't operate the charity if people aren't open and honest and transparent, because our value is to be open and honest and transparent. And so when we're talking to anybody that walks through our door, we have to have that value in place. It's really important.
And is there anything that you could share with people that that you feel that you need to do that? Because everybody says my door is open. I've worked for lots of people that have said that, and they're not.
And
we lost you for a second there.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know what happened there.
I've worked for lots of people that say that they've got an open door policy. What makes you different?
Because I have an open door policy. I'm approachable and I have nothing to hide. Because of the style of how I manage the charity, I think people know they can come to me with anything, literally anything. And so it's leading by example.
Yep.
If I'm sharing my stuff, it gives them permission to share theirs.
As CEO, you're willing and able to do any role in the organization. How does that hands-on approach influence your team's views leadership and hierarchy?
So, because I will do anything, for example, if I'm first one in on a Monday morning, I will clean the office. I don't feel that there is a job that I'm too precious to do. If I'm the first one in, then I'll do what needs to be done. And the team can see that. They will see that the roles that they feel a CEO shouldn't do are the roles that I will roll my sleeves up and do. So they know that there isn't a hierarchy. Of course, in a way, I am the final decision.
Yep.
If a high level decision needs to be made, I will make that. And I have no problems doing that. But if it's a decision that they can make, and they have the capacity to make, and they have the responsibility to make, I will always push it back to them and get them to make it. I mean, sometimes making decisions is quite hard because you want to make sure you're making the right decisions, but part of the autonomy is to give it to them to make the decision. And if all fails, then I will make the decision.
Yeah, I think, quite often what's happened is that we've worked in organizations, haven't we, where if you do something wrong, it's you're to blame and it's your mistake, and that looks bad on you. So what happens is we don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
And it's about empowering people in a way to give them that psychological safety where you say, you can fail.
Yes. Yeah. Mental health is everybody's business. And part of mental health is making your mistakes, because life happens. And that's okay.
Purpose is central to the Lucy Rayner Foundation. How do you ensure that purpose isn't just a statement on the wall, but something people feel and act on every day?
The way that the charity is run, we are purpose-driven. We all buy into the vision of what the charity is and how we deliver our service. So it means that everything that we do is of service, and we want to improve that service, and we want it to grow, and we want people to see that we are making a difference. And in that act of service makes that purpose driven.
Yeah, and I think that and understanding that, but we've all worked for the organisations where there's a mission statement on the back of the toilet door, and that's about as far as it goes, and actually nobody cares. But central to you is two things: one is the purpose, and one is the fact that you need to be of service.
Yes, you can't have. I think if you're working in the charity sector, you can't really have one without the other, because the charity sector is of purpose and it is of service.
And the thing that really made me, that's different is that here is a charity. If I am in the county of Surrey, if I need mental health advice, I can get it like that.
You can instantly. And if we don't have that information, we will make sure that you get it. We will find it for you and we will relay it back to you. We never leave anybody without that support. Yeah. Never.
You talk about enabling people to become the best versions of themselves. What responsibility do leaders have for personal growth and development of their team?
And it's about really understanding that person and understanding what they need. Is it training? Is it time out? Is it going off and doing a bit of traveling? It's finding out what that person needs to be able to say, I'm growing within this charity. And it's about being the best that you can be.
Yes. And sometimes that's actually leaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you can outgrow your position, and if you need to go somewhere else to be able to develop yourself, I'll be the first person to say, I don't want to lose you, but it's the best thing for you, and good luck.
Yeah, I was at a conference and I said, we train our people to leave.
Yeah.
And there was a gasp.
It's true. It's so true.
But surely someone isn't going to work for you for the rest of their lives. They're going to find some, anyway. And for people watching and listening, who would want to build more for those listening, who wants to build more human, inclusive and high performing cultures? What's the first behavior they need to change in themselves?
Well, how are you of service? How are you of service? And what do you bring to the table as a leader? Do you offer space for somebody to share, to grow? do you listen, like really listen to your staff? Do you have all the things in place where they can be more productive and support them in their mental health and in their physical health? I think if you have all of those things, and I mean, really get to know your staff.
Yeah, it's about understanding the backstory, isn't it? It's about understanding,
where they came from, what their history is, what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, who are the dependents, and I'm going to my partner's mother's 89th birthday after I finish this, and those sort of things you got to know, isn't it?
You do. Once you know your staff, and if you know them intimately, they will, and they know you. There is a relationship that is built, and that's built on trust, transparency, and honesty.
Yeah. Jenny Rayner, thank you so much for coming on and talking about leadership, and why in leadership everybody is equal. Thank you so much. Jenny, if people wanted to get hold of you, where could they find you?
On LinkedIn, on my profile, Jenny Rayner, and also on the website, www.thelucyraynerfoundation.com.
And if anyone's interested, not just in Surrey or anywhere around the world, about copying what you've done, you'd be more than happy to talk to them.
100%.
Yeah, excellent. And I'm also going to just thank, though we probably won't ever watch this bit or watch it at all, Chris Lewis from Team Lewis for introducing us. I think it's very fair. So Jenny, thank you so much. Great story. Really appreciate you